Do 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 Spiritual sex and candy, yeah.
Hey, 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 all you sensual souls. Welcome to Spiritual Sex and Candy. I am Heather, this shamanic sweetener, and we have my amazing, illustrious, incredible co host, JP Adkins, our freedom Jedi.
The
Hi,
check is
JP.
in the mail. Check is in the mail, baby. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I am doing great now that I got Rupert to actually come inside the house. I was trying to do it for like the last 10 minutes. Then, of course, as soon as I push play, he's like, bark, bark, bark. Like,
Right. I'm ready, Dad, right now.
right now.
Lily was not happy with me tonight because last week no one was home. So I
Uh-huh.
left the door open. So she laid on the bed the whole time. But I know that if I let her lay on the bed and close the door halfway through, she's going to want out of the bedroom.
Right.
And so I kicked her out and I got side eye big
Oh,
time
I'm
and
sure.
pouting and like, Aunt Heather, how dare you not let me lay on your bed this whole time? Because that's where she's been all day.
Right. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. I don't know what you're thinking.
Right, right. How was your week?
It's been pretty. It's been pretty. It's been pretty.
It's been
There's been
pretty.
a lot of there's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs. Like it's one of those weeks. Finalized my mom's, as you know, like finalized my mom's stuff. So there's been a lot of like heaviness around that. You know,
Yeah,
finality. There, that last little bit of okay, my family's been really amazing this whole time. So we're gonna have that last little bit of
I'm blessed that we're not like that. And I mean, there's not really anything to fight over. But my sister and I just were never like in any way like that. But it's funny because my grandfather's estate got settled this week as well, this last week.
mhm.
That's kind of crazy that both of those happened this last week.
Yeah, and like I said, we've had a really considering both my parents died this year.
Yeah.
We've had a really smooth, easy, like everything was really great until literally this week. And it wasn't like anyone
So,
was really fighting. It was just like some things were said in a way that was a
yeah.
little like, why did you? It's not that even what was said was wrong. It's just how you said it was wrong. And it's like,
Yeah.
why did you have to say that? Like now it's like everything else is tarnished because of what you just said here.
Right.
And not that I disagree with you. Just
Right. Yeah, it had nothing to do with what was said. It was how it was said and worded,
and
which is
worded
so
and
important. Yeah.
yeah, so it just becomes this place of yeah unrest and unease, and when everything else has been completely easy, like it
Yeah.
really has. So it was just like, why we could have went all the way through this whole thing without
Right.
any crap, but
Yeah.
then on the other side of that,
At
I
least it was
had
only that little thing, and it wasn't, it resolved within a couple of days, and it wasn't, you know, it
yeah,
wasn't the whole time. It wasn't like this was a big, huge,
right. It was it
yeah,
again. Some phrasing was off.
yeah,
Like this
right,
is the big problem. My big problem in my with 5 siblings, we had basically 2 sentences
yeah,
were a little off in how they were said, and not even what happened. At the end of the
right,
day, everything happened just as it was supposed to, and everything was there, and everything's good, and
right.
there is nothing. How was your week?
My week was good. My week was really good. I've had some moments throughout the week. We're always as much as far in our healing process as we are, things still come up and we're still, working on things. I'm still working on myself. Stuff comes up for me, you guys. Like, don't think because I do what I do that I am by any means like I'm just trying to help you make your journey a little bit easier and guided because I'm out here raw dogging it.
Some days, some days.
You um so I'm just working through some things, trying to create and be my authentic self, um and some things came up around that actually today. So every day, you guys, I do my morning meditation before I do my card pull. I call my energy back. I have a routine that I do, and recently I've added these affirmations in to connect with each chakra as I'm right. And I got to the throat chakra today. Jeff doesn't even know this because we haven't even talked, but I got to the throat chakra even talking about it. And the affirmation is I speak my authentic truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been saying this in my head every day for several weeks now. And today it got caught in my throat. And when I say it got caught in my throat, like I started to cough, I gagged, it took my breath away. Like I got not I had to stop. I started to cry. I was like, "What is this?" And then it was like, "Oh, okay, I need to work on something around that," which has actually shown in my social media and in my posts, and that I have been very generic. I've struggled to do my daily card pull, to be honest. Like I have to film them 3 or 4 times. It doesn't sound like me. It like yeah, it's and today it was like, "Ooh, what's coming up for me?" So that's something I have to work on. But yeah, we're at episode 55. We need to jump into this. We are a trigger warning. We are not medical professionals. Anything we say on this channel and during this podcast is our opinions and our opinions only. And of course, what we have experienced throughout life and what we picked up along the way. We talk about sex, drugs, rock and roll, all the things. It says it in the name spiritual sex and candy. We will talk about sexual assault, abuse, drugs, alcohol, a lot of sexual things, all of the above. So if you are easily triggered or offended, we don't want to trigger anyone. So if you have things that you could be triggered, just know that it could come up on this program, and we don't want that to happen for you. And if you're easily offended, you can fuck right off. We don't care about your opinion. Move along. You are loved. We're sending you all the love in the world, but peace out. Okay. So now anyone that's still here, we are on episode 55. Food as fuel, food as joy, releasing body image from eating. Releasing body image from eating. I can't even say that tonight.
I knew as soon as this came up because we were looking at ways to have one of our friends on, and so this was one of the ones that was there, and she unfortunately couldn't make it with us this week. And so I knew as soon as this came up, this one was gonna be a touchy subject for both of us.
Yeah.
Neither one of us are at our desired weight.
Right. Yeah.
We and so when we talk about these, there's a lot of issues around that.
Yeah.
And if you guys think that men don't have body issues, let me just tell you, not just gay men. I know plenty of other guys that we've had conversations. Why do you think you have all the gym rats?
Yeah.
That say that they're fat, and you can't find a friggin' ounce of fat on them.
Because at some point in their life, they were told they were scrawny, put weight on, or hey, fat boy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
And you have to, and you have to be, no one is ever gonna want you because you're too heavy.
Yeah.
No girl's gonna want that. Where'd your dick go, boy?
I just saw a video that it's so funny that you say, I mean, it's not funny that you say that because it's shitty that people say that, but I just saw a video of this girl and she's in a bikini and she's tatted and she's beautiful and she says, "I love them fat men." And I was like, "Oh, where is this going?" And she goes, "They like to eat." And that was the whole video.
They like to
And I
eat.
thought that is fantastic, you know.
Yeah.
She just
You
said
know,
they like to eat, you know what I mean?
and I personally, as a gay man, so add on top of that the gay man with all the body image and all the stuff and all the things. Um, and when I grew up, the gay stereotype was either gym rat or heroin chic, right? The
Yeah,
bear culture did not exist when I
yeah,
was coming up, when I was growing up. As a matter of fact, the bear culture is because of that whole time period. And so, yeah, my models of, I was 70 pounds lighter and the same height. And because I had a little bit of a pudge, I thought that I was fat because I
yeah.
wasn't washboard and I wasn't scrawny and I didn't look like I, needed a sandwich. And I wasn't built. So that was it. You could either be completely like anorexic,
Emaciated, right,
emaciated, like literally, like, no, really, you need a sandwich, dude. Or,
right.
or you had to be built like a brick shit house and there was no in between. And it was such a time growing up that gave me issues for my own that I still live with. Even though the bear culture's there now and you can have a little bit of weight on you, I'm still not happy with where I am, but I'm not like sitting here going, "Oh my god," every day in the mirror either,
Yeah.
you know, as I was when I was 135 pounds and still was like, "No, I'm fat." You know.
I wow. I could say probably as far back as elementary school. So my mom was 5'4", my dad was 6'4", my sister and I are in between that, right? And I started developing boobs when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, which I know sounds crazy, but it's true.
Mhm.
Um, but I was always one of the tallest, one of the people still think I'm taller than I am, but I was always one of the tallest girls. I was always one of the bigger girls. I had the baby fat chunk rolls. Um, and my mom was a buck 25,
Mm.
right? And when you're little girls, you think that you should look like your mom, right? Because it's that image of the female, the main role model in your, the main female image. And my mom was 5'4" and a buck 25. So by 5th grade, I was wearing her clothes. 5th, 6th grade. Now, also, I have not grown since I was probably 14. So I shot up to like 5'6", 5'7". By high school, I was the max that I was going to be. And then I haven't grown any. But I always had big boobs. And so then there was always comments about how big I was when really the rest of me wasn't overly big,
Mhm.
but my boobs made me look like I had more weight on me than what I actually did. And so there were comments all the time about what I was eating, how I was eating, especially when I got into high school, middle school. Middle school girls are fucking little bitches. They just are, right? And like they are the most judgmental. So there was always a comment about how big I was, how, oh my gosh, you're so fat. And society doesn't help with that either, because then we see models on TV and we're told diet, 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 and it's still like that to this day, right? If you're overweight, then it's she must binge eat, she must, that's disgusting, blah blah blah. And then if you're too skinny, it's you should eat a burger. Do you ever eat? And there's no happy in between that. There's no happy in between that. And I really didn't start putting weight on until I was probably early 20s.
Yeah.
And the closer my mom got to passing away, the sicker she got, I think the more weight I put on. And I know part of that is from sexual assault. So this happens a lot too, of unwanted advances from older men, or, I was molested when I was younger. And then as a teenager, I was tutoring a neighbor girl, and the dad came home early one day and decided that he was going to hook up with the tutor. And and I don't want to diminish this, because there was groping, it was very inappropriate there, luckily I was able to leave before anything actually happened, because he would have continued to, so I was lucky that I was able to get out of the situation. But I didn't, psychologically, everyone I knew had kids. And for me, putting weight on was protection. And if I put weight on, I wouldn't be attractive to men. Because in my mind, men wanted skinny women. And I know this is fucking crazy to think of it this way, but it is very true. And looking back on it, my traumas and my things that were going on in my life, everyone I knew had kids. And I had a sick mom. And the last thing I needed was a kid intermixed in all of that. And trust me, it has never stopped any man from men from being attracted to me. But psychologically, and really what it was I didn't feel attractive, and therefore it put up a barrier. Yeah.
Oh, I totally get that. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
It's it's so hard. Wow. It just brought up like a whole bunch of stuff to me. I have been heavier, and I'm shorter, and my brother was out first, and my brothers are all over 6 foot. I was, growing up, I was Roy's little brother, and I was shorter, I was fatter, I didn't have the dick. My brother was very well endowed. It was one of the things that he was known for.
Right.
And so I didn't have that. And I wasn't, and my brother was emancipated. He was the Calvin Klein model. He was 6'1" and like 120 pounds. He and I weighed the same amount at one point. He and I both weighed like 125, and he was a foot taller, almost like 6 inches taller than I was.
Yeah.
And so like it was crazy, and it really did make it. And I dealt with the same thing. Well, maybe you shouldn't eat as much. Maybe you should work out more. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should, maybe you should. I had people tell me often, well, you and your brother don't even look like your brothers. Well, no shit, he's my stepbrother, but that's a whole nother conversation, right?
Right.
Um,
You're like, yeah, we don't share any genetics. You're
right,
right.
right. He doesn't look like your brother. Are you guys just saying that? I'm like, no, and then pull out a, picture of us when we were 12. Um,
Right.
but it was always the comparison. I was always
Yeah.
compared. Our parents did it. Our parents would compare us. And
So
so,
that I'm super lucky about. Our parents never compared my sister and I, so I'm really thankful for that. But and I don't ever remember my dad saying anything to my sister because my sister is almost 6 foot. She's 6 foot. She claims she's not, but she's 6 foot. Um, and though she was thicker, she was not heavy,
mhm.
right? And um, yeah, I have there lots of comments over the years, lots of comments about my weight, about food, about what am I eating, and our culture tells us we're the worst at this. There is always a fad diet. There has been a fad diet going on since we were kids, right? I mean,
That's the
I could
50s.
list
Let's
off
face
God
it.
knows how many different diets that, right? We put shame on food.
Mhm.
Now food has become such a convenience that we don't eat healthy because it's inconvenient most of the time. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
It's inconvenient. I mean, we cooked at home, but I remember now that wow, when I really started putting on weight was when my parents started buying. There was always a huge ass bag of Lay's potato chips because my dad was a potato chip fiend. We always had Hot Pockets in the freezer. There was always munchy type foods around because my parents were stoners and, you know,
Mhm.
but it was more as we got older than when we were younger. Um, and fast food became more normal. As a kid, we never ate fast food. Like if we had fast food for dinner, it was like a treat. It was a huge deal. And in our house,
Mhm.
it was Arby's because my dad didn't really do he hated McDonald's till the day he died. I think he hated McDonald's. Um, but he was an Arby's guy. And so if we were eating out and he did like Wendy's, when Wendy's first came, he was like, we could get him to go to Wendy's once in a while because he liked their burgers. But and it was like a huge, or pizza. It was a
Mhm.
huge deal. And 9 times out of 10, if we were ordering out, it was a pizza to be delivered to the house.
Mhm. From Carl's, or it'd be Pizza Hut.
Ours was
Um,
Tony's.
yeah, Carl's, like, and Carl's still exists. I should probably stop in. I'm in
It's
town now.
fantastic. I
Like
love
it,
it.
it, it just
I
hit
love
me.
it.
I'm like, no, I just drove by there the other day, and I was like, oh, Carl's is still there. It hit
That's
my
a
brain that it was there, but
yeah.
it didn't hit my brain that I can actually order it. Um, Not that I think it would be even. I don't even know if it was good. Like thinking back, I'm like, I know it was better. I liked it better than Pizza Hut, but that's because we had Pizza Hut so much. There has been a continuous member and that worked at Pizza Hut since 1988 in the one location. A member of my family since 1988 has worked in the one location at Pizza Hut.
That's
It's
funny.
not the same, and it's not the same person.
Right.
Since
Not one consistent person has worked
right,
there since then.
but everybody has worked there at some point. Um,
That's
my
funny.
sister now runs the location.
Right.
Like it's still the location. Um,
That's too funny.
so pizza was
Yeah.
pretty consistent. Like my sister would bring home pizzas. I remember that. Like even before I worked there, and then I worked there, and I brought home pizzas because there'd be a couple pizzas left over at the end of the night. Here, let's go.
Yeah.
Or so there was always a pizza in the fridge. Um, McDonald's was huge for us, but it was a treat. like you said, growing up, it was a treat. It was like every other week, maybe not even every paycheck.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
probably like got it maybe once a month. Like I said, we were more apt to get pizza. But then
yeah,
as an adult, I had my daughter, and when it was just us, there were lots of times where I would get to the point. So the other part of this for me is that I will go all day without eating.
mhm,
I'm not a big breakfast person.
mhm,
So that's a hack that I have had to figure out. I don't actually want to eat anything for several hours. Which is not a bad thing, though we're told that because we
right.
were told marketing that breakfast was the most important meal of the day and you had to get up and eat and start your brain and do all of those things.
Have you heard how that started? I just saw a documentary on this. Like, it was weird that you brought that exact phrase up. That is Kellogg's.
Yes, yes, Kellogg's did that. Yes.
That
Yeah.
is Kellogg's telling, lobbying the FDA to talk
Yep.
about and put all kinds of research back in the like 50s and 60s to get breakfast cereal sold.
Right. The breakfast was the most important meal of the day.
Mhm.
And here's something convenient. And you could get all your nutrients and you don't have to cook a big breakfast and, and that sort of thing. I was never a breakfast person. So then it was, well, that's not good because you don't eat breakfast. Right.
Yep.
And so we're already told it's bad. We're told over and over again that what we eat is bad. We eat a lot of processed foods nowadays. There's so many processed foods.
You almost can't cook without making a processed meal.
Right.
Something.
Something is processed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. If you buy enriched food, if it says enriched on it, it's processed
Hmm.
because they have taken all the nutrients out of it and then put more shit back into it to enrich it because
Hmm.
they've stripped all the natural nutrients out of it.
Yeah.
Right? We have fad diets all the time and I have done Atkins. I have it literally has the word die in it. I
Hmm.
just want to point that out, right? It literally says die in it. None of them are healthy. None of them are healthy.
I remember doing the cabbage soup diet once.
Oh, that's a good soup, though.
It's a good soup. It
It
is a
is a
good.
great, healthy soup. That is one of those that is like money as
Yeah,
far as taste wise,
yeah. It's a great soup, and it's really good. And and
but you
it's
eat it all the
funny.
time.
Um, in September, I'm doing a whole reset. So we're having this conversation, and one of the things I'm doing in September is I'm going to go on a um, more monk diet. I'm not going on the full thing, and I can't, I can't, I can't, I because you can't microwave, you can't make anything in advance. Like,
Oh,
really, what
everything
you're
has
supposed
to
to do is
be.
like it has to be freshly prepared and all that kind of stuff, and I don't have time for that. I'm sorry, guys. Um, until I'm in an ashram, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm going to, we were talking. One of the things that we wanted to talk about today is how food can be part of your sacred nourishment and how it can be part of your spiritual growth.
Well,
And
yeah, because we're told all the time that food is bad.
bad and fuel, and it's just this, and it's just something to have, and it should be convenient and easy, and you know come here, you don't have to cook. And by the way, it's actually expensive to cook by yourself, unless you're doing the boxes, and most of the boxes are decent. Like, I've seen some good ones. I did a box for months and months.
Yeah.
um I do think that if I was leaving, I literally was leaving again, one of the leaving times, so I canceled my box because I was leaving next week and ended up not leaving, so or only leaving for a couple weeks. That's what happened. So what does it, when you start looking at the sacredness of food,
Mm.
when you start looking at the Ayurvedic properties, and how food, it can be medicine, you start feeling and noticing what it is that fuels you. Heather and I have talked about this many times. Oh, I went and had the fast food last night. I'm not feeling great today.
Oh yeah, I could definitely. So I am on a GLP-1 supplement. I do a patch. Um, I think that if you need help kickstarting, um, I have nothing against gastric bypass, none of those things. I just you also have to do the psychological work behind what food means to you. I think this
Mm-hmm.
is a huge thing, right? Because your relationship with food is what is really, really important.
Yeah.
And I don't think we talk about that as much. So many people have such a toxic relationship with food. Me, me right here. Yeah, it's
It's
bad. I've been bad. I have a friend who says that all the time. I've been really bad this week.
Then
And
I
I
say that
wasn't
like
speaking of Jeff, but yes, right? I've been bad this week. How many times have I eaten out? What, oh, I didn't make my lunch for work. I was bad this week. And, now can you make healthier choices? Yes. But, and I'm not, and let me caveat this before I make this statement because you can't eat a cheeseburger every day from McDonald's and it nourish you because
no.
you're not giving yourself the nourishment that you need. The other side of that is you also have to have a good attitude going into eating. When you eat, and it is scientifically proven, if you go eat a salad and the whole time that you are eating that salad, you're like, this fucking thing, I
Mm-hmm.
fucking hate salad. I hate that I have to eat salad every
Ooh.
single day. Right? And the whole time you're miserable eating this salad. You will get
Ooh.
less nutrients. I know. Ugh. You
The,
will get less I can't even say it because if you know me,
you're
you
making
know I
my
love a good
body like
salad. So but if you the whole entire time say that whatever you're eating is horrible and you don't want it, and it's scientifically proven that you will get less nutrients out of that food because you're telling your brain that it's bad.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
And the same goes for when I eat a cheeseburger, and this has been years of work, you guys. This is not an easy thing. I still have my moments where I went I ate like shit this week. And mainly because I feel shitty if I ate too often, right? But I try really hard to not say I've eaten bad.
Mm-hmm. I've been noticing one of the things that's been really helping me, because you talk about this with me a lot, because I'm one of the people that will say I ate bad. Oh my god, I ate horrible yesterday.
Right.
And she says to me, "You didn't eat horrible. You just aren't feeling great." And so I really, one of the things I watched that also. And we talk about this with water a lot. What you say to the things around you makes a difference.
Yeah.
You know, you can see in ice, when you say bad things to the ice or write bad things on the ice, it will, the molecules are different. They're more chaotic. If you say loving things or write loving things in front of ice, for ice, it organizes itself differently. They always say that if you want spicy peppers, cuss at it, because
Right, because it's a vibration that you're giving out. If you every time you eat, you have guilt about what you're eating,
yeah,
and it doesn't matter what it is.
no, it really doesn't. So there's things that I kind of avoid. I try to avoid high fructose corn syrup as much as I can. Not necessarily because it's like the big one that I avoid.
Yeah.
Okay. because it's in everything, everything, everything in the United States.
And it
Look
should
your
be
label,
illegal.
and it should be illegal. And
Yeah.
it's like, and when I say everything, it was funny because I was looking at steak sauce. The guy I'm seeing, we were having dinner, and I was like, I don't ever use steak sauce, so I was going to cheap out a little bit and try to get the store brand. But I have a conscious thing where I check the labels for stuff like that, like because I know, and I knew this from mayonnaise. Some of the Miracle Whips, okay, and I don't mean
Miracle
to
Whip is not mayonnaise, and you cannot put them in the same category. Okay, moving on.
Okay, so some of the Miracle Whips, if you look at them, some of them have sugar and some of them have high fructose corn syrup. And you have to look at you won't know it by the label. You won't know it from any other thing other than looking at the actual label.
Yeah.
So I was looking at different stuff, and I was getting steak sauce, and I had to get Wash Your Sister sauce also, and so I'm thinking, okay, these are staple items. I'm gonna use it, and half the time I end up throwing half of it away when it comes to steak sauce because it expires for me. I don't use it, and it's crazy. All the generic ones had high fructose corn syrup.
It's
Every
cheap
single one,
filler.
right? The one that did not was A1, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Which is
Because
funny because I could see it on the shelf behind you.
yeah, because it again, there's a reason why A1 is on my shelf, not anything else.
Yeah.
The Worcestershire sauce, the same thing. You had to do Lean Parents.
That's
It's the
the
only
only
one that
one.
it's the only one that had it, and it was. It's like, and of course, it's the original. It was good, and like I prefer these anyways.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice if I didn't have to spend that much on them, um, because sometimes I'm a cheapskate, and I understand that. And again, the Worcestershire sauce, it goes in my popcorn. I have a recipe. Oh, I have a recipe for that. So I use Worcestershire a lot, actually. Um,
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I put it in a lot of things.
if beef is involved, it probably has Worcestershire. Like
Beef,
very
pork,
rarely does not.
sometimes chicken. Yeah, depending on what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah, normally not chicken. Normally pork. If I'm making pork chops, yeah,
Yeah.
because pork chops are steaks to me. So, but having those, just noticing and just saying, hey, this is all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just notice. This is one thing I'm gonna avoid. If I have it, obviously, every so often I have pop. It's in it, guaranteed. Can't,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna avoid it. I'm not gonna like say I'm not gonna eat this stuff, but being more conscious.
Yeah.
Think of how it feels in your body. So I know if I have a pop, it drives me absolutely. Then I could feel my blood pressure go up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you start recognizing how it actually makes you feel,
Yeah.
it makes a difference. If I don't eat a salad, I eat salads quite a bit. And if I don't eat a salad a couple times a week, I can tell the difference that I haven't eaten a salad. And I'm a foodie. I love food.
Mm-hmm.
This is not from, I mean, this is from some junk food, but like I love food. I like food.
Yeah.
And so, but now I just tried to make different choices. I noticed that when I eat bread, specifically bread, not pasta,
Mm-hmm.
specifically bread, that I feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Now I can eat a burger and have the fries and no bread and be fine.
No. No, I can't.
I,
But
it's
then again,
crazy. Now I will go get a good sourdough. If I want bread, I'll get a
mhm,
good sourdough. Sourdough is I'm good with sourdough. Like there are certain ones, but it's like if it is preserved, processed, bread, it's a no-go for me because yeah,
I very
it makes
rarely,
me feel gross.
yeah, honestly, I very rarely get bread because, again, I don't eat it enough. And
Yeah.
so even the little half loaves, because I want a sandwich, maybe two. If I'm lucky, I'll eat two sandwiches out of a loaf of bread
Yeah.
and it'll go
Yeah.
bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've have lunch meat that has gone bad. I've had cheese that's gone bad. Things that just shouldn't. You know, just like things that have shelf lives for
Right.
days have gone bad in my fridge. Um, so there's been that. There's been so bread isn't normally an issue. It's more because I eat out. Like I'll go and I'll run through and get fast food. Last night I went and got a mushroom Swiss burger from Rally's. They have the best mushroom Swiss burger other than Hardee's, but it's half the price. And the Hardee's for me is like literally clear across. I'm not going to Hardee's.
We have a Checkers, which is the same as Rally's.
Right.
I might have to check out their mushroom Swiss.
If they,
We
it's
do Culver's, and Culver's has a good mushroom Swiss as well.
Culver's has a really good mushroom Swiss, but it's a mushroom Swiss. It's not the Swiss sauce, the mushroom Swiss sauce
Oh yeah, true.
that Hardee's is different. And when Hardee's they sold their fries and their things to Checkers, Rally's, Checkers, whatever that company, and
Right.
then when they ended up coming back, Carl's Jr. started reintroducing them, and it was like, oh, well,
Yeah, if you're from the West Coast, it's Carl's Jr. If you're on the East Coast and Midwest, it is Hardee's. So it depends on where you are.
like
Same with
Carl's,
Checkers and Rallies. It depends on where you are. It
yeah,
depends on
and
where they
Carl's
all.
Jr.
It's
does
the
not
same
have a
company though.
yeah, Carl's Jr. does not have a mushroom Swiss burger.
No, but if you go to a Hardee's, it does.
Yeah,
Right.
and it
And
was
Culver's is random. I think
Culver's.
Vegas is finally just getting a Culver's, but
Yeah, it's from Wisconsin. I mean, what else? Who cares about Wisconsin? No.
I discovered it when I lived in Colorado. But yeah, so
Yeah.
our relationship with food is super important. Finding out if you are really big, you have to go back and work on at what point in your life, what was going on that food was your safety. What was happening in your life that food became your safe space because that is what has happened. 99% of the time you can say that. What happened then to make you and I could probably guess that the majority of them was sexual molestation, assault in some way, shape, or form.
Um.
Or they were told that they were fat when they were younger and it became a control thing
Mhm.
of you're not going to stop me from eating.
That for me it was when my ex died. I
It
was
was
on a
from
really
what?
When my ex died, I
Oh
was
yeah.
I was doing really well with meal planning. I was working out 3 times a week. Um, just had myself in a healthy space
Yeah.
and the best I've ever felt ever in my life. And my ex died, and it was like that night I ordered pizza, and after that I stopped working out. I had this whole thing, and then by the time I
Yeah.
went back to working out, it was kind of too late, and
It's
then
never too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. It's never too late.
no, but
I know what you're
what
saying.
what I meant is at the time I was using an app, and the app didn't go it didn't go back, and I had lost the ability to do where I was at, and
Right.
at that point I couldn't go back to something I could do, and so it became this thing, and then it was like,
Well, then that's discouraging,
yeah,
right?
and
Nowadays, we have so much social media where there are all these, I have a vibration plate, which I love the vibration plate, by the way. I love it. But there's like so many devices. And then you have these people who like, they before and after pictures, which cracked me up because I was just having this conversation with a friend the other day of these before and after pictures. And I said, I always look to see if they have tattoos. Because if you ever notice that the before and after pictures sometimes don't even look like the same person, which I understand when you lose weight, you're going to look like a different person. But at the same time, sometimes it's so drastic that you're like, is that the same person?
Yeah.
And what started the conversation was a video that I watched, which was hilarious. And it was this heavier set guy, and he's being interviewed. And she says, so what do you say when you get asked what you do for a living? And he says, I say I'm a fitness model. And the girl like looks at him, right? Because he's a heavy guy. And he says, I'm the before picture. And I about died laughing because I was like, that is the best line ever, right? And then I really started thinking about it, and I'm like, sometimes I feel like that's what it is because it's so unrealistic. Like, I lost 80 pounds in 6 months, right? In 3 weeks, right. Like, I lost 60 pounds in 2 months, in 8 weeks or something like that. Like, that's not healthy. It's not good for your body. It's not healthy. And what were you doing that you did that? Because I've done a lot of drugs and not dropped weight.
Honest to God, I did not, on anything that you're supposed to lose weight on, I did not lose weight.
Me either.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, that's why my aunt told my mom I wasn't on drugs.
That's fantastic. My body was always in starvation mode. For me, it's because I didn't eat a whole lot. And then what I was eating was not nourishing to my body. Right? It was less nourishing. And my body was like, oh, this bitch is starving us. And what we are getting, we need to hold on to because we don't know when we're going to get fed again or what it's going to be. And then when I got sober and I started my healing journey, so I've always roughly stayed, I'm 330 pounds right now, roughly. I'm not sure exactly how much I weigh, but I'm over 300 pounds, which I know people always say, no, there's no way that you're over 300 pounds. Trust me, if I was going to lie, that's not the fucking picture. That's not the number I'm fucking picking. I promise.
Right.
But I have been since my early 20s, my whole adult life, I have been between 200 on average, between 220 and 260 pounds is like, and usually it's between 240 and 260 is like I feel good. When I weigh that, I feel like I'm good with being a thick woman, right? But when I was younger, I had friends who were big as well. And I had this one friend, and I loved her confidence, but she was always like, I'm a fat bitch. I'm a fat girl. I'm a fat girl, right? And I used to say that all the time, right? I'm just a fat girl. I'm good with being a fat girl, which I am okay in my body. I would like to be healthy because I would like to go do shit. And my body right now stops me from doing the things that I want to do because I physically can't do them all the time. That's the part that I don't like, right? It has nothing to do with my image itself and everything to do with my ability to go do things. But my daughter, my bio daughter, I have a lot of children. My bio daughter had an eating disorder when she was a teenager. And not because in any way was she fat. She got my mom's genes and her dad's genes. And does she get a little thick sometimes? We all do at some point. But she is not built like me. And I'm thankful for that. But she had an eating disorder. She had an eating disorder because of how I felt about myself and what I portrayed to her. And it got to a point where I was not allowed to use the word fat in describing myself. And she put that rule down. Stop saying that about yourself, Mom. Stop. You could say you're fluffy, you could say you're thick, you could say all of those things, but fat was not. I was not allowed to describe myself as fat because it did damage to my child.
Yeah.
Who no one would think was fat.
Right.
And we need to quit telling people just eat a cheeseburger if we feel that they're too thin. You just need to eat something, because let me tell you, that does just as much damage as telling someone to not put food in their mouth.
My youngest sister is I think she's 5'1", actually. She's 5'1". She's under 100 pounds.
Yeah.
She's somewhere between 80 and 100. My niece Madison is the same way. They're
Right.
both like very, very small, petite girls, right? And I've heard many times, and my sister can eat a pizza, a whole large pizza by herself, and be totally okay with it. But she got my dad's gene, and my dad was really thin. You know, he looked healthier than
Right.
my brothers do. He was a little. My brothers just looked like they were stretched. They're mean, but they're stretched. So it was, but she got that really tiny gene. It's insane
Yeah.
how much she's being told, you need to eat something. Do you eat? And she's like, fuck yeah, I eat all the time. What are you talking about? You know, have you ever sat down and watched me eat? She's eating.
Well, and that's the thing is, if you're thin and you're naturally thin, you're told to eat something because you're not eating enough.
Right.
If you're thick, you're told to quit eating because you're too thick. And so I know so many people that have eating disorders and body dysmorphia because they were told one or the other.
Oh yeah.
They're eating too much, they're too thick, they're getting too thick. You know, and then they lose it, you know, if they're thicker and you lose a bunch of weight, then it's, oh my God, you're getting so skinny, you know, and you know, and I have body dysmorphia. I diagnosed body dysmorphia 1,000%. And that is one of the things that I think about in this weight loss journey that I'm doing. I'm very conscious about what I eat. And just because I find what makes me feel better and gives me more energy, so I'm nourishing my body and I'm not just eating to eat. I actually have an issue of never feeling hungry. So for all of you out there that think because you're big, you know, because someone is big, that they want to eat all the time, that is not the case. And Jeff and I have this conversation all the time. So I'm not just fucking saying this on the fly.
Right. No.
I struggle every day to eat. I struggle to get enough calories. I force myself every day. And it's not food noise in the sense of that you would think of talking myself out of eating something. I literally have to sit and think about, what am I going to eat? What am I going to go prepare myself? And I'm blessed that I'm in an environment that I get to take time to prepare a meal every day in the middle of the day. That is whatever I want it to be. But I literally have to talk myself into that every day. What do I have? What can I make? How can I make it? What is the process going to be? What is, you know, and I come up with some really good fucking shit. But if I'm out and I'm waiting to come home, I might go through 3 or 4 things and have already mentally prepared them before I ever get home to actually cook it. And I don't think I've ever said that out loud. Like, that makes me tear up because I don't know that I've ever talked about that out loud of what it takes for me to actually eat something every single day,
Yeah.
multiple times a day. It's a struggle.
Yeah. It's part of the neurospacey. It's part of the, you have to overthink everything. One of the, and it doesn't, food is just one of those, right?
Right.
It's everything. One of the things yesterday I sent her because it hit me and I was like, fuck you. And so I sent to her to have her say fuck me too. Something I wrote for the devotional, and it's about overthinking. It's because we overthink and we overthink, and then by the time we actually do it, we're exhausted because we've done 5 different versions of this in our head, and we've like worked ourselves up to a point of frenzy, and in all reality we went and made a sandwich. Like, it doesn't have
Right.
to, it's not even something that it took 5 minutes. I do that with work. I know I do that at work every time.
Me too.
We've talked about this all the time about
Yeah.
my pet client. You know,
And
it
for me,
seems
food is really bad. And so
yeah.
then before, I wouldn't even go through that process because I was so overloaded with so many other things all the time that at the end of the day, I was like, just pick a place and I will find something on the menu. I still do that
Mhm,
because, and when something sounds good to me, I have to go have it.
mhm.
I have to because that doesn't happen very often. So when it does happen, then I obsess about it. Like, this weekend I ate a cinnamon roll because for 2 weeks all I could think about off and on was having a fucking cinnamon roll.
Yeah,
And telling myself, what other things can I eat to satiate this craving, this want for this cinnamon roll?
mhm.
Nothing. There was not. I tried. I tried cinnamon in my coffee. I tried like I tried to have a
Cinnamon
bowl of
toast.
like a little bowl of ice cream and put some cinnamon on it. Like I tried every no,
No.
no. And don't beat yourself up quit beating yourself up over food. Quit beating
Quit beating
yourself
yourself
up.
up.
Enjoy, right? Shut the fuck up. Enjoy your food. My roommate loves to take my I can't even call her my roommate. She's one of my people. Like I I just adore this woman. And she says, I love to take you to new places to eat. She's a huge foodie as well. And we love to go try different food. But one of the things that brings her joy is to watch me eat. Try something new and really like it and enjoy it. Because I am that happy dance food person. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
this is so good. And I'm like dancing in my chair and I'm all into what I'm eating. And, and she just like gets a kick out of it because I have learned to really just enjoy. If I'm going to go out and I enjoyed eating, I ate a Sunday night for dinner, I ate a cinnamon roll with, because if I was going to go in, I was going all in. I added apple cobbler to the top of that cinnamon roll because it was on the menu and it was offered.
It made it healthy. The apples make it healthy.
The apples made healthy. Exactly.
I, and I think that at the end of the day, it comes down to notice what makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up over this stuff. Notice what makes you feel better. Like, start like actually paying attention. 15 minutes after you eat, hey, how am I feeling?
Yeah.
How am I feeling? Do I feel good? I could tell you if I have McDonald's. I could tell you if I have a pop. I could tell you I know that my blood pressure is going to go up. I'm going to start feeling a little bit of a headache. I'm going to start, right up in here. I
Yeah.
know that for me. That's me and my, because my body says, Jeffrey, it's not, I don't drink a lot of pop. So when I do, it's like, okay, it's there.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
either very often.
I have an
And you
energy
can
drink.
make small changes in your life if you're looking to change your food. Make small changes.
Yeah.
I think one of the worst things is we set ourselves up for failure because we want to jump in with both feet.
Hmm.
If you're used to eating hamburger helper every night, whatever, I'm just picking,
Yep.
something, then, something that's super convenient, fine. Little ways to maybe make it homemade instead of out of a box, right? Like,
I made beef stroganoff the other day because one of my friends was here and he was like, I only eat this out of a box. I've only ever eaten this out of a box. And I'm like, no, this is like, it's such an easy thing to make too. And I'm
right.
not saying that I made it real healthy because I used the canned soup and I have made it from scratch. I'm not making it from scratch.
But even that, the can of soup isn't bad.
No,
Again,
nothing's
we go back to,
right.
right,
There's,
like,
there's more
the
sodium.
can of soup compared to the box of
Right.
hamburger helper, like, yes.
Yeah.
Be nice to yourself.
Be nice to yourself.
Pay attention. Yeah, pay attention to how it makes you feel.
What you got going on this week, baby?
Oh goodness. I'm not prepared for that question.
I love it.
I'm really trying to get out of my head as far as like I have some things I've been working on, and I have to I got to get over myself. Really, it's what it boils down to. I'm working on my own inner things right now so that I can be my authentic self on all platforms. I am when I come here, you guys. Like, this is me. But outside of this, I've just really struggled lately. So I'm trying to hack that and figure out what direction I want to go with stuff, because I don't like what I'm doing. I mean, I don't dislike what I'm doing right now, but
There's more to you than what people are seeing,
correct.
and and I
Yeah.
I am so fortunate that I get to see a lot more of it.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful every day. I know that I say this every week, guys, but if Heather wasn't in my life, it would be I would be a different person.
I feel that
I
way about you.
you know
I really do. Like, we really, as much as we bicker like an old married couple, by the way, all the time. But I wouldn't have it any other way,
no
because I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you in my life.
yeah
When did
likewise.
you become so important to me?
About a year ago. Um, about a year ago, it's like all like clicked in this like space. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just thank you, just thank you.
Thank you. What are you doing? What do you have going on?
All right, guys, I did something crazy right before I came on today. Check out my Facebook. I just gave I just gave the cover and the back cover blurb for the new book. Literally, probably like right before I got on. Not too long before I got on, and I don't even know if Heather's seen it. I don't even know if Heather's seen the cover of my book.
Really? Did you just make that statement?
I,
Of
I
course
think,
I've seen it.
okay, all
Yes, I
right,
saw the post, but of course I've seen the
yes,
cover.
yeah, you saw the cover. You did not see the blurb. I know that because
No.
I finished writing it and I haven't. I was very purposeful. Exactly who got that. The only person that got that before it got released was the guy I'm seeing because I'm like, what does this sound like? And my coach. And then, funny story about that. He says, I see, because I sent him a different version. I sent him one version. I'm like, it needs something here, and I've like made a couple changes, and I sent it again. He goes, I see um, I see that differently. I see that different, or something like that. And I'm like, how do you see it? Because that's how I read that, and
Oh, right.
instead of he saw the changes.
Right.
And I was waiting for this like magical thing for him to say, and so it was actually kind of funny. Um, so that is out. I'm working on the book, guys. Book a call with me. I am. You know what I want? I want to do like 5 readings this week. That would be like I have been so friggin' connected And
I would love to do some one-on-ones.
yeah, like
I
it would
would
be
love to do
interesting.
some one-on-ones and connect with people. I would love that. I really would. If you're
I
looking to
would,
get a reading, hit one of us up.
yeah, I
Whoever
think
you
that,
vibe with, better
yeah, I mean, I think that
hit
it
us
would be
up.
really interesting because I haven't done, hell, when's the last time I even offered readings like out loud?
I don't know. But I'm always up to do readings.
She's always up to
Readings
read.
are one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it's been a fun. It's always fun, and her readings are amazing, guys.
They
Yeah,
are, yeah, they're in.
you will
This
not
is
walk
not
away.
a, you're going to find the love of your life in 6 months. That's not what my readings are like at all, just for the record.
The last 3 readings I've done has made people cry, including me. So yeah.
Yeah. I have a tendency to do that, not in a bad way, but
No.
I had the last reading I did within, like, I read the first card to her and she started crying. She goes, "I'm not supposed to be crying this
This early,
the reading," right? And I'm like, well, it happens. But you can do all of that. Spiritualsexandcandy.com. You can find all of Jeff's stuff. Don't forget, go to Sanctuary on Sunday, orangedragonflycenter.com. If you want to book with us or get a hold of us, spiritualsexandcandy.com, and all of the links are there. We hope that you have an amazing week. We can't wait to see you for episode 56 next week.
I can't wait. I love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Everyone here at the True Awesome Network asks you to please subscribe, like, comment, and spread awesome.